Lance, to win a game ugly in the way that you guys did and pull that one out.
You thought that was ugly?
Well, it wasn't the most beautiful game I think I've ever seen.
Okay, I agree.
Okay. How do you encapsulate what this one was?
Well, I just got done doing radio, and I said, I don't know if this team could have ever done anything like that a year ago, overcome all those things. We had, penalties, unfortunate penalties. We're making stops. We're not driving the ball. We get calls reversed. We get flags picked up. We got a lot of things. There's a lot of different ways that a team that doesn't have a lot of confidence would have folded a year ago. And to watch them keep battling, and we probably played a little more on the conservative side and played a little more field position because of who they are as well. And so to find a way and get it done is, I think it says another thing about this team.
Do you have an update? I know it's been fresh on Daniel.
No, I don't. He's at the hospital now. I mean, the little bit I do have is not really in a position right now to make any real comment that's worth putting out to the public. But our doctors and medical staff, I thought, did an outstanding job, and hopefully I'll get over there and see him soon.
Lance, did you know your defense had that in them to not only maybe keep you in a game like that, but win a game for you?
Yeah, we have, you see flashes at times, and you see it at different parts. I just got done doing it. I think there's times where you saw people at all three levels of our defense making plays today. And that's really encouraging and exciting, and you can build on that. You can get confidence. And again, some rotational guys are out there quite a bit as well. Yeah, it's encouraging. I don't know if I'm ever one to say, yeah, I think we're gonna, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't, as Zach said, probably ugly. We didn't have 213 yards we only had 46 plays. I mean, that's not very many. And they had 78. So again, in today's college football world, that's not an offensive clinic, I guess, this time around. But so there's plenty to work on there. But as far as the defense goes, really proud, and hopefully it's something that they will kind of build, because I know we sat in here a lot of days and talked about where that's at, and I think they stepped up today.
You mentioned being conservative largely because of them. Were there times where you considered, hey, let's not be conservative here, let's go for it, or was it kind of just decided pregame maybe?
Yeah, no, it wasn't decided pregame. I think the game and a little bit of score, but to me today's difference was first and second down. Remember we talked about how we had a lot of third and longs today. Well, third and longs don't give you a lot of chances to go for it, in the part of the field that we were at, and we weren't in great rhythm. And again, credit to them. And but 4th and 5 and 6, I don't know if I was ready to pull the trigger on that today. And that's on me. That's my,
First quarter, first half, the offense seemed like it was moving the ball right. What do you think changed in the second half that
limited it? I don't know. They did some things. We depended so much on Jalen, and I think there's some times where listen to Jim and Andy talk on the headset. I think he was trying a little bit too much. I think there's a couple times we had some people open, but he didn't see them. He couldn't, where he was in the pocket. I really thought we had a heck of a chance on the deep ball to Skinner, just slightly overthrown. But again, I go back to first and second downs and just that whole thing of when we're playing really well offensively, it's kind of clicking, and we're getting multiple things, and we're in a really good rhythm playing, and Andy's in a good rhythm calling it, and I don't think we really got into that very well today.
We've talked about resiliency a few times this season. Do you feel like this team has grown in that regard?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you talk about the 2 away games, when, you go down 14 and you let a lead slip away, playing overtime again, you do those things. Last week was a battle, but, as we know, It's not going to get any easier by any stretch, but I think it's going to give us a chance to be confident and knowing that we can go in there and play people for 4 quarters and see where it takes us.
Lance, what's the difference in the energy on the sidelines for this game compared to previous ones where the offense was clicking for the entire game?
I don't know, with my headset on, it goes the other side. I can't really tell. I mean, I think there's probably a little bit of, down and not as far as just pure enthusiasm. The difference between enthusiasm, though, and being overly emotional, but not losing. I don't think our confidence waned, though. I really didn't. It might be a little bit of, I don't know. There's not a lot to get excited about if it's, a 1 or 2 yard gain. I mean, so how do you? But it doesn't mean our focus or anything was. I didn't hear coaches. I didn't hear players. I mean, our players were intense on, on some things and making sure communication on the defensive side. But I didn't get a sense that we were panicking or, lost our, being together on it and stuff. And really, I think another thing, everyone, is, when one of your teammates gets taken off on a board, that really can take the wind out of you in a lot of different ways. And it can lose, some of the things that are, because that becomes pretty darn important. So I don't know whose phones, maybe got a call coming in or something, but so for us, Stephen, that's another thing we overcame, and I think it says a lot about the guys.
Lance, this program hasn't been 5-0 in 13 years. You've been 5-0 twice in 3 years with the year at Buffalo, the weird year of the 2020. Does being 5-0 here among these circumstances, and even in your background at Wisconsin, the times when you were starting those seasons the way you guys did, does this feel any different?
Oh, geez, I haven't had enough time to think about that. Well, it feels different, and I think we're all trying to, because of what this group's been through, but, we've only been here 16 months or whatever the heck it is, and we're focusing on where we're at and what we have to improve and what we're going to have to move on to for next week. But again, I'm so happy for them because, and holistically, we see what it can do. We can see what it does for this community. We can see what it does in the stands. We can see what it does about pride. We can see what about self-esteem. We can see it about togetherness. We can go through a lot of different things, and these are all great things to build upon. I think if I really, took a longer time to think about it, based on what everyone thinks, where this program was going to be this year, yeah. But again, as all of you know, you got to finish the story, right? And we have 7 more games to go.
Lance, I don't know what your measuring stick is. Everybody else thinks that this team has improved very quickly since you got here. What qualities among your kids have enabled them to grasp your message so quickly and respond so well?
I think, first of all, I appreciate you being here as well. And I think it's things like that, is that, upon getting here in May of 21, that was, I still go back to the same things I've said from the start, and that is, I got a sense that they wanted, they wanted direction, they wanted accountability, they wanted discipline, they wanted structure, all the things that you talk about. And then, but yeah, when you're 1-8, sometimes that can be strained about as far as if we use the word buy-in. But this group kind of kept working because there were small things that I always said that we weren't using the scoreboard to measure improvement in where we were headed. I really think we had guys that in our leadership in our area really see that and embrace it. And then when we went into those last, the last quarter of the season, the improvement helped the buy-in, and then it started to show a little bit more. And you start playing those closer games, and you start finding a way to win.
Coach, that Iowa State tight front, it can give offenses fits sometimes. You know, it gave y'all fits today. What was it like preparing for that, and how do you think y'all kind of tried to get some stuff going?
You know, inconsistent, obviously. Preparing for it, it is difficult. I know Andy and the staff have, you know, put a lot of time in on it, not just this week. You saw things that did work. You saw some things that weren't even, and then you saw it where it became a problem. And, you know, until you really dive in, whether it be tonight or tomorrow morning, and look at it and find out where, you know, like most film, it's going to be one guy on this play, and it's going to be another guy over here on this play, and it's going to be something else. And you wish you could say it would be this one thing that caused the major problem, and then we could go address that and fix it. But it's going to be a holistic thing.
I want to get your perspective on Kenny Logan. It seemed like he was all over the field today. I guess, how do you feel like he played, and do you feel like this was his best game of the season?
Yeah, I
so
really
far?
haven't seen all the stats. You know, I thought Kenny really showed up. I thought he really showed up in the fourth quarter. You know, Kenny's been banged up the last couple weeks and things, and you know we didn't use him in kick return. And I'm not saying he wasn't there in the first half, but I as you could see, there were some things schematically that we have that allows Kenny, you know, to come down and make some plays, and he made some big stops when we needed him.
Hey, Lance, when you go back and look at this, the
Mm-hmm.
difference may be special teams. Just talk about what you guys did there.
Yeah, you know, obviously, they missed 3 field goals, we missed 1, but it's more in the punt return game, and really Morrison's kick return was a nice little spark as well. But you know, Reese Vernon had a nice day, had a really good day, and probably you know I would say he's the one guy I don't want to get in the game, and at least at the main thing he does. But he did a nice job. They doubled Quentin Skinner as a gunner. And I really thought Rich Miller and some other guys, and then Lachlan got down there. I mean, to cause the when the fumble or when he dropped the return. So yeah, I thought we were very good in special teams today overall. Again, and when you're struggling offensively, you better find a way in the other 2 phases, and I think today we did.
I asked you this last week, but I know you and the staff were out on the road recruiting. Just what's the reception like?
Yeah, we just got to some games yesterday, and you know, between being at the team hotel and meetings, and you know, now we'll talk more tomorrow and Monday because the coaches were out in schools. You know, I wasn't, but had a chance to interact with a few coaches here and there, and yeah, there's a lot of positivity out there, and it's great, and it's good to see. And the other thing is, it's nice to hear coaches appreciate that we're out there locally and things, and we're going to keep chipping away at it.
Lance, 5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss.
How many? Give me that again.
5 sacks, 8 tackles for loss.
We did?
For you guys, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
No. Also, Kobe's interception. Do any of those plays stand out as more consequential than the others to you?
Oh, you guys are so good at that. I can't always process which one happened when, but, I mean, you can see, Kobe Bryant's a really good corner, with great ball skills and anticipation, and did a really nice job. I thought our pressures and run and pass stunts and things did a nice job. I can't say what, but I noticed different guys. I saw Eddie Wilson. I saw Sam Burt. I saw Jeremy Robinson, Lonnie Phelps, Malcolm Lee, Hayden Hatcher. I saw some, Taiwan Berryhill made one early. That was huge. So all those are there. Maybe I can give you a better one Tuesday. I'm sorry.
Last week you talked about taking a quick minute to just look around, see the stadium full, and kind of what that meant, what you've been building toward. Today you had a hard time getting off the field. A lot of people out there. Was there anything that stood out about that celebration with your players, with the fans? Anybody say anything that was unique that stood out to you?
No, I just wonder who's going to pay the fine. No, I didn't. You don't want. We don't have time now, but you can go look back I mean, 1993, at Wisconsin, there was a field, there was a deal, and I was part of that. The biggest thing is safety, and you don't want to take away from it. So honestly, at a certain point, after a little bit of celebration and doing some other obligations out there, it's more about safety, to be honest. And the players don't always understand that because, they want to be out there and be part of it, and, they probably think I'm old and taking away their fun. But there is some stuff to that. But, yeah, another great crowd, and I guess I should publicly thank them. And they are a difference, and you can hear it, and hope to see you again next week.
Lance, when you have this kind of success that snowballs to start the season, what's the key to enjoying it, but also having the guys stay grounded as you continue on?
For the players or for me?
Either.
We both got to stay focused because it can be taken away pretty quick. It's my job to make sure that happens, and I'll enjoy it maybe in between Christmas and New Year's, or New Year's and Valentine's Day or something. I don't know, but I can't. You spend too much time basking in what's done. Somebody else is already preparing. I mean, TCU played the early game, so they got a jumper ready on us for next week. So, you kind of take that approach, and I just kind of say, if you enjoy that feeling, you got to find a way to take the next step the next time.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Safe travels.
I guess start off, walk us through the end of the game and your perspective on the way things wrapped up.
I mean, defense showed out today. They had a great day. They were able to come through when we really needed it, and that's all respect to those guys on that side of the ball.
And for you guys as an offense, obviously had some success in the first half and not much in the second. I guess what changed for you guys that kind of limited you in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of mistakes myself, missed reads, being able to get out of there was a lot of plays where I was able to put us in a better position, and I really didn't. So I need to go on film and clean that up myself.
And you think it's mostly you-centric, not what other team did or other things?
Like I said before this game, they have a great defensive scheme. I knew that they were going to be able to come in with, very, very fast DBs. Their DBs were able to get on a lot of balls, and their front seven was able to get on some run plays as well. So, there's just a lot of stuff that I need to clean up.
Jalen, what did you learn about your team today, and how's it feel to know you can win a game like this when points aren't easy to come by?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before the season, adversity is going to come at some point, and we definitely had some adversity today as an offense. But to be able to see the defense be able to come through and really need it, we really love that.
Just any plays defensively that you saw that stood out to you at all, or were you just so focused on what you were doing that you maybe didn't see them all?
There was a lot of plays that the defense made today, but I can't really pick out one because there were so many plays that they made on that side of the ball. I was really just thinking about what I was able to do to be able to pick up the offense.
Jalen, what is winning a game that's as ugly as this one? What can that do for you guys going forward in terms of whether it be confidence or just learning how to finish?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives us a lot of confidence, especially on that side of the ball for the defense. I mean, we know what we have to do on offense to be able to clean up what we have to do for next week. So, that's just going to happen in the film room, especially come back in this weekend, own up to the mistakes that we made. And then, Jalen, as a team, your response to Daniel's injury, how do you guys think you handled that and seeing him go down? Yeah, I mean, all blessings to that, man. I mean, that's our brother. We love him forever. And, we're just going to keep on, praying for him to have a healthy recovery if, he's injured.
Jalen, can you speak to the atmosphere today, and if you ever in your wildest dreams thought you'd see that here?
I mean, like I said last week, I love the amount of people that came out to the game. They were able to pack the booth. That's something that we've been harping on, which is packing the booth. They came in with that energy, and I feel like that energy helped us today.
Jalen, you're running off the field. What's the craziest, most enjoyable, best thing you heard from fan, teammate, coach, anything like that? Anything you can tell us?
Nothing specific besides 5-0. Just like I said, taking it all in. It's been a minute since we had a crowd like that, especially before this season. So, just really taking it all in, being able to feed off the energies that they brought.
Jalen, what was Lance like after that one?
Like after
the game?
he just said that, you know, he's glad that we were able to pull out. You know, I mean, like he said, there's stuff that we need to clean up on film as an offense, but we're glad that the defense was able to pull out the win.
In your eyes, would you define this as your toughest test yet?
This season?
Yeah, for this game.
Yeah,
And
I
if so,
mean-
how so?
Yeah, I mean, you know, having adversity on the offensive side of the ball isn't something that we really have much this season. So, you know, being able to, you know, keep that positive mentality throughout the whole entire game, no matter what's happening, you know, it's not necessarily easy, but I feel like we did a great job of just, you know, having our heads up no matter what situation we were in.
Why are y'all able to do that now?
Dude.
Keep your heads up.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just comes in with the culture that Coach Leipold instilled in us since he's gotten here. You know, no matter what happens, adversity is going to strike at some point. And that's not even just in football, that's in life. And, you know, it really just matters about how you respond to it.
How does it feel to know that, you know, it's good to rely on that defense whenever things aren't coming through on offense?
I mean, we love to see it. You know, I mean, a whole bunch of defensive guys came up to me after the game and was like, you know, we got you, bro. We know we got you. And I was like, you know, that's love. No cap. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Jalen, what kind of things were you and the other offensive players doing to help the defense out, to help keep their spirits up and stuff like that?
You know, just pushing those guys. You know, throughout this whole entire season, we've always been communicating with them. Like I said before the season started, we're able to talk to each other no matter if it's offense, special teams, or defense. And I feel like that just shows out on the field.
You think this is a game you guys win in the past, last year, year before?
I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, I guess it would just depend on how we approach that situation. Can't speak for the past. I can only speak for the present.